Vandeham Shiguro Shivadapadakammalam Shigurun Vaishnamascha Sirupam Satriyatam Sagaraganathanitam Sajivam Sadetam Shabdutam Varijansaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalita Shivishakhan Vitasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rashvanushate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadeshatakriti.
Hare Krishna. Today is also the very auspicious disappearance day of Srila Lochan Das Thakur. And my 20th year of initiation. We were initiated in 2006, disappearance day of Srila Lochan Das Thakur. And yesterday was disappearance day of Srila Jayadev Goswami. And day before yesterday was disappearance day of Srila Ramchandra Kaviraj Goswami. Very, very auspicious period of these great acharyas, Lord Chaitanya's dearmost associates. Lochan Das Thakur is Gauranga Prem Rasa Acharya. He has presented the biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his full poetic Panchali. The entire biography is in poems. And it is more than 11,000 verses which he has presented. I don't think any one of you have ever read Chaitanya Mangal. Any one of you have Chaitanya Mangal? I don't think. Okay, some other day we will take that scripture. First, let us complete Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll continue our reading and discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Actually, today is my presentation.
Today is your presentation. Okay, yes, I forgot. Sorry. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes and then we will begin with your presentations.
Okay.
Sri Lochan Das Thakur's composition of Param Karuna is so very dear to Srila Prabhupada. So I am reading some section of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit and then we will continue with Pradeep Prabhu's presentation. So in 1975, Srila Prabhupada stopped translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, and before his departure, he wanted to present the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because Srila Prabhupada knew that he could empower his disciples to give Srimad Bhagavatam, but for anyone to be able to give Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada did not see anyone worthy. So he had to stop his Srimad Bhagavatam and he forced his disciples to complete Chaitanya Charitamrita in his presence. That is the year 1975, and Prabhupada was pushing his disciples to complete it in 2 months. Prabhupada also gave the commentary in 2 months. So then Prabhupada said that I am going to stay here to see that you complete the job. Because Prabhupada feared that if he would travel, then there would be delays. So Prabhupada stayed for a considerable period in Los Angeles. But Prabhupada could not stay. He had to continue the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he traveled. From Los Angeles, he went to Mexico City. And from Mexico City, he went to Caracas, Caracas to Miami, and Miami to Atlanta. So now Prabhupada has arrived in Atlanta. Okay. This is Atlanta, February 28th to March 2, 1975. The deities of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu and Atlanta are over 4 feet tall and effulgent. Their lotus feet are usually fully visible, transparently poised atop the whirl of lotus flowers. Their arms are upraised above their heads, and they urge everyone to dance and taste the nectar of the holy names of Krishna. When we come in front of the deities, this should be our feeling. We should look at the Lord who is standing there with his upraised arm. And with his upraised arm, he is urging everyone to dance and taste the nectar of holy names of Krishna. Their faces show mild, compassionate smiles. And the mode of worship of God they are delivering, as described by Srila Prabhupada, is very, very lenient and easy to perform for the unfortunate people of the present age. On his arrival within the Atlanta temple, Srila Prabhupada was very moved to see Gaur Nitai. Now in 3 consecutive stops, that is in Mexico City, in Caracas, in Miami, and now in Atlanta, he had entered each ISKCON temple for the first time and had taken the darshan of Gaur Nitai. So all the places, of course, Los Angeles is Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish. But apart from all these 3 stops before Srila Prabhupada came to Atlanta, that is Mexico City, Caracas, and Miami, everywhere there were the deities of Shri Shri Gaur Nitai. And Prabhupada was visiting all these centers, all these temples for the first time. This time, as in Caracas, it overwhelmed him. About 300 super enthusiastic devotees had gathered to meet him, aside from the residential devotees of Atlanta temple. Some 40 brahmacharis from Tamal Krishna Goswami's Radha Damodar bus party, about a dozen brahmacharis from Satswarup Maharaj's traveling library party, about a dozen men from Tripurari's airport book distribution party, and devotee scientists of Swarup Damodar Bhakti Vedanta Institute group, and other visitors were present. So there was a galaxy of audience who very eagerly awaited Srila Prabhupada's arrival. They had greeted Prabhupada outside the building as he had pulled up in a black Lincoln, and now they followed him with an uproarious kirtan into the temple room within the large house that served as the Atlanta temple. Srila Prabhupada stood before the deities. The ceilings and walls of the deity rooms were mirrored and produced an unusual effect. Understand, the ceiling and the walls of the deity rooms were mirrored. So there were glass mirrors. So you see, if there are glass mirrors, you see the image which is projected in each of the mirror, both on the wall and on the ceiling. So it gives the unusual effect, multiplying the image of Gaur Nitai deity. So in every mirror you will see Gaur Nitai. So you will see so many Gaur Nitai deities. Prabhupada approved of it. He then walked from the altar room, from the altar to his Vyasasana, glancing upon the devotees as they parted their tight ranks and allowed him to pass. So it was completely chock-a-block. There was no space to sit. He sat upon the Vyasasana facing the devotees who quickly hushed into silence. So this is Prabhupada speaking. So I am very glad to see you, Srila Prabhupada began. I am coming first of all from Mexico City, then Caracas, then Miami. And now he's in Atlanta. I see your temple is the best. At this, the assembled devotees, especially the Atlanta devotees, burst into loud, unrestrained cheers and cries of joy. Hari Bol. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very kind, Srila Prabhupada continued. Parama Karuna Pau Duijana. 2 Lords Nitai Gaura Chandra, Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very kind, you see. They have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of this age. So they are more kind than Krishna. Param Karuna Pau Duijana. Krishna, he is also very kind. He comes to deliver, but Krishna demands first of all surrender. Sarva Dharmani Parityajya. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not demand. At this point, Srila Prabhupada became overwhelmed with transcendental emotion. He tried to speak. He He is so kind. But then his voice broke and he began to shed tears. He spoke, but his voice became very high as he was gripped by an ecstasy that made him helpless and inconceivably humble. So take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cried out, and be happy. Thank you very much. And then he stopped, unable to say more. The devotees themselves felt carried away and cried out, Haribol, in loud unison. So this is what Srila Prabhupada has given us. Complete mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And this mercy is imbued, it is flowing from the writing of these acharyas, especially Srila Lochan Das Thakur. This happened twice. It happened first in Caracas. In Caracas also Srila Prabhupada had this emotional ecstatic breakdown. Tears were flowing from his eyes as if water flows from syringes. Many devotees in their memories at that time present this, they said. Srila Prabhupada's arrival address was just completed in 2 minutes, and he motioned to his servant that he wanted to go. The devotees were stunned at his belief, powerful entry. That same evening, Prabhupada came down again from his room. Again, he sat on the Vyasasana and said he would teach a song Param Karuna. He started chanting slowly with his kartals, and the devotee tried to follow, although a few knew the song. Param Karuna Pau Dvijana Nitai Gora Chandra Sabe Avatar Sara Shiromani Keval Anand Kanda. After a few minutes, he asked the devotees to play along with him on Mridanga. A few tried, but no one seemed able to find the right beat. Srila Prabhupada then stopped them and he said he would show the right drum pattern. He had a devotee rewind the tape recorder that had just recorded Prabhupada playing kartalas and chanting this sound, Param Karuna, so that he could accompany himself. The devotees were especially surprised since no one could remember exactly how long it had been since he had played the mridanga. The devotees produced one old mridanga, but it sounded dead. A second drum was passed forward, but it was also dead. Then a boy offered his personal drum, a mridanga covered with a bright red and gold cloth. Srila Prabhupada placed it on his lap, tested it, and found it acceptable. He then began to play, while devotees taped a complete recording of Prabhupada playing kartalas, mridanga, and singing. In another unusual touch, Srila Prabhupada had put on his glasses, adding an air of studious concentration to his playing and singing. Bhajo bhajo bhai, Chaitanya netai, Srudera vishwas kori, Vishaya chadiya, Sera se majhiya, Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. When Prabhupada finished singing, he explained, Pahu means Prabhu. A shortcut of Prabhu is Pahu. Prabhu means Lord or Master. So these two Prabhus are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is addressed as Mahaprabhu and the other is addressed as Prabhu. So these two Prabhus, Nityanand Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are very merciful. It was as if Srila Prabhupada was giving a purport to the uncontrollable ecstasy that overcame him earlier when he was unable to speak. Param Karuna means extremely merciful. Prabhupada explained extremely merciful because Krishna is also merciful since he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his original feature. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Krishna, but he is acting as devotee. He is not acting as Krishna. He is acting as devotee of Krishna. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate. And then finally Prabhupada says, but you do one thing. You use your ear and hear from the realized soul. In his explanation, Srila Prabhupada told of different events of his life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here in Atlanta, he concluded. So you worship this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Param Karuna Pau Duijan. They are very, very merciful. A little service will enhance your devotional service to a larger scale. So this is the ecstasy and the loving devotion that is there in the heart of our acharyas. This they have come to know. And if we accept their advice, their instructions, their directions, then in this life we can also experience this joy of devotion, this unlimited bliss, this ecstasy of devotion. Shri Lochan Das Thakur, Tirubhavati Mahamotsav ki jai. Okay, Pradeep, can you present in 40 minutes? Almost 40 minutes. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Prabhu.
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. So today I am presenting Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, the Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 7, and title Scheduled Incarnation with Specific Functions. So the contents of this chapter, various incarnation, from verse 1 to 39, various incarnation of the Lord. From 40th to 46, it is impossible to understand the greatness of Vishnu unless his mercy is bestowed. From 47 to 49, description of the amass of Supreme Soul and Brahman and establishing the superiority of the two paths. And from verse 50 to 53 is summary of chapter 5 to 7 and dissemination of this knowledge. So, as we see from chapter 5, the cause of all causes, Narada Muni asked Brahmaji about the symptoms of this manifest world, what is its background, how it is created and conserved, and whose control is all this being done, what is the source of knowledge, and under whose protection you are staying, under whom you are working, what is your real position. Do you alone create all these entities with material elements of your personal energy? Like this, Narada Muni asked Brahmaji, following the 5th chapter. In the 6th chapter, Brahmaji describes that Virat Rupa of the Lords and tells Narada Muni that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and nobody can fully understand him. All we can do is surrender unto his feet. So, who can deliver one from the miseries of the birth and death? Supreme Lord Krishna. So, following 6th chapter, 7th chapter, scheduled incarnation. So, in this chapter, almost 25 incarnations are described, explained by Brahmaji to Narada Muni. So in the first verse, the incarnation of Varaha.
Can you show the previous slide once again? Just
this one,
25 incarnations.
This one.
Yeah. Okay, you will cover all of them?
Firstly, I will cover Prabhuji.
Okay, good.
The first incarnation, Lord incarnation is Varaha, the divine boar, who appeared to rescue the earth from the depths of Garbhodaksha ocean. So the boar form is described as Sakala-Yajnamayam.
It is not Garbhodakshay. Garbhodakshay. Shai means to decline to sleep. That is Lord Vishnu. It is Garbhodak ocean.
Sorry, Garbhodaka ocean. So the boar form is described as Sakala-Yajnamayam, which represent the personification of all Vedas. So during the early stage of creation, the demon Hiranyaksha caused the earth to fall into the Garbhodaka ocean. So the Lord assumed a gigantic boar form proportionate to the task with his task to lift the earth back to its weightless floating condition. So Jiva Goswami clarifies clarifies that the demon was first hit by the Lord's hand before he was being pierced. So Srila Prabhupada explained that modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from it is a sort of disturbance by the modern demon scientist can result in a greatly harmful reaction to the floating condition of the earth. So similarly, Ernax also disturbance was created formerly by the demon head Hiranyasha, the great explorer of the gold rush. So
There is
the
this a new avatar of Hiranyaksha, who is disturbing the entire world. Again for oil. Very recently he took over one country to control the oil. So these are the inhabited, the successors of Hiranyaksha. Okay, go ahead.
so the second the second incarnation is the next incarnation is the Suyagna, who was born to Ruchi and Akati and later fathered by Suyama demons and Dakshina. So he served the Lord served as Indra and revealed distress in the three worlds, upper, middle, and lower regions. Swayambhu Manu called him Hari because he removed the miseries of the universe. Next incarnation is Lord Kapila, was born in the house of Prajapati Kardamuni and his wife Devahuti. He instructed his mother Devahuti. So before him, he appeared along with nine sisters. He is the 10th son of Kardamuni and Devahuti. So he instructed his mother Devahuti the science of self-realization, Atmagatim, enabling her to wash away the mud of material association, Gunasanga Pankam, and achieve the same ultimate destination as Kapila himself, Kapilasya Gatim. So the word Kapilasya Gatim indicates that perfect knowledge of the Supreme, which is only a way to neutralize material infection. So pure devotional service acts as a, Srila Prabhupada explained that pure devotional service acts as an antiseptic that can neutralize the material infection and cleanse the mud of material modes from the heart with a single lifetime. So a devotee does not need to wait for those. Generally, the spiritual science is revealed from within the heart in proportion of an individual degree of surrender. Bhagavad Gita 4.3. So a devotee does not need to wait for further birth to achieve liberation. By following the path of self-realization taught by Lord Kapila can achieve Kapilasya Gati. So the next incarnation is Dattatreya. The name Datta comes from the Lord statement Dattomayam. So the Lord given says that I have given myself to you. So that even the dust of lotus feet has the potential to purify a person and grant yoga. So, but notable figures like who achieve perfection through him include
Anyone remembers what is yoga room? Yoga Rudha.
Yaga.
What are the two stages?
Yoga.
This is Yoga Rudha. This is perfection. And what is the practice stage called? Anyone remembers? We have discussed this. The two stages, one is of the practice and the other is of perfection. Perfection is Yoga Rudha. And what is the practice stage called? Yes, Dayāśīl Prabhu and Ramya.
Krishna Prabhuji, Yoga Rukshu.
Yoga Arukshu. Arukshu means one who is inquisitive. Okay, go ahead.
So the figures like who achieved perfection through him, including Edu dynasty, the lineage of Lord Krishna and Kartavirya Arjuna. So the Lord's willingness to become the son of his devotee, while the Lord is the father of all living entities, he takes great pleasure in being the son of pure devotee to reciprocate their parental affection, Vatsalya Homer. A pure devotee who have intimation relation with the Lord don't not need to seek material enjoyment, salvation or mystic power separately. All these achievements come from to them automatically through their service. Ananya Cheta Satatam Yoma Smarti Nityasa. So even a highly advanced devotee can fall if they commit offense at the lotus feet of other devotees. Example, this Kartavirya Arjuna, who achieved perfection but was ultimately killed by the Lord Parshunam due to such an offense. So the next incarnation is the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanat Kumara, Sanandana, and Sanatana. To restore and explain the transcendental knowledge that was lost in the previous devastation is their appearance they appeared. So the four Kumaras explained the spiritual truth so nicely that sages could at once perceive it clearly. By following the footsteps of such pure devotees or incarnation of knowledge, Jnanasikti, one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself. So when a devotee completely give up everything in charity, dedicating all actions and possession to the Lord in turn gives himself to the devotee. Bhagavad Gita. So ye yadamam prapadyante tam tadaiva bhajamiham. So example, Bali Maharaj and Vamandev. So in the next incarnation, the Lord has twin sages Narnarayana, who appear to establish the principles of Ashtar, enhance and dissociation from the material attraction. So that human life is mainly meant for tapasya, austerity and penance rather than sense gratification. Srimad Bhagavatam, Tapodivyam, Putra, sorry.
Putraka Yena. Okay, good.
Putra again is so Brahm when so the Lord so when celestial beauty sent by people try to break his vows, they failed because they saw the Lord could produce far superior spiritual beauties from his own potency. So the Lord is never attracted by the false beauties of the material world. Tribirgun Mayar Bhave. So attraction in the renounced order of life, attraction to the opposite sex is described as the primary enchanting principle that keeps the living entity in the material bondage. So the ultimate goal of life is
No, wait.
to take.
What have you written? In the renounced life, attraction to the opposite sex is described as the primarily enchanting principle that keeps the living entity in material bondage. This is not proper. It is not in the renounced life that attraction for the opposite sex that keeps a living entity in material bondage. You have to correct this statement. This is in the material life. In the material bondage, this is so that there is sex attraction, not in the renounced life. Do you agree with this statement, what you have written? You are hearing what I am speaking?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
How can it be in the renounced life? You have to correct it. Okay, later you do it. Come.
So the ultimate goal of life is to break the tight knot of material attachment to focus on self-realization and devotional service. So Brahmaji explained next about the transcendental nature of the Lord's mind, specifically his absolute freedom from material emotions like lust and anger. So great personality like Lord Shiva can conquer the lust, but still he is subjected to anger. However, Lord Vishnu is never affected by such material contamination. For example, the sage Brugmuni kicked the chest of Lord Vishnu to test his tolerance. Instead of becoming angry, the Lord begged the forgiveness, illustrating that his nature is entirely free from wrath and lust. The Lord is described as Aptakama, that he is self-satisfied and does not require external help to fulfill his desires. Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. So because he has no unfulfilled desires and there is no cause for anger.
Continue.
Yes, Prabhu. So the next incarnation, the Lord has appearance as Krishnigarbha, which achieving the highest principle of highest spiritual perfection through serious determination and guidance of a pure devotee. So example is Dhruva Maharaj. When Prince Dhruva was deeply hurted by the harsh words of his stepmother, he determined to seek the Lord's help. He performed severe penance in the forest. So Dhruva achieved perfection only after being initiated and guided by the sage Narad Muni. So being satisfied Dhruva's sincere prayer and determination, the Lord awarded him Dhruva planet, a fixed Vaikuntha planet within the material atmosphere that is never annihilated during the universal devastation. So next, the Lord appeared as Lord Britu, the empowered incarnation, which is Shaktavesh avatar of God, who descend to restore order and righteousness to the world. And the downfall of King Vena and the subsequent appearance as his son Prithu. So King Vena drifted from the path of righteousness and was cursed by land brahmanas. The curse burned away his good deeds and appliance, leading him towards hellish condition. So King's Vena ruin serves as a warning that uplands reputation and life itself are lost when one willfully neglects or disobeyed great souls and spiritual principles. The appearance and activities of next is Lord Vishwadev. He performed Jada Yoga to teach the equanimity of mind. The true purpose of all form of yoga, including the ancient difficult practice like Jada Yoga, is subduing the material senses, Prashanta Karna, and achieve self-realization. Next incarnation is Lord Haigriva, a horse-headed incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Haigriva appeared during the sacrifice by Brahma. His golden hue and horse-headed is identified as the embodiment of Vedic hymns, Chandomaya, and sacrifice, Makamaya. He considered the source of knowledge. All the sweet sound of Vedas have originated from his breath. The Supreme Lord is he is the personification of all Vedas and sacrifices. Bhagavad Gita 15:15 and 94, 924. Vedesh sarve rahame vedyo, and 924 aham hi sarva yajnana. So next incarnation, Matsya incarnation, his role in protecting the Vedas and all living entities during a period of devastation. Matsya incarnation illustrating that he is the Nikila Jiva Nikaya Keta, the shelter and protecting of all living entities. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi. The incarnation appeared not because of any material necessity, but to save his devotees like Satyavati Muni, the seventh Manu, front Manu, and all living beings from fear and destruction. Next incarnation is Kurma, tortoise incarnation in supporting his role in supporting the Mandar mountain during the churning of Milk Ocean Kshirashagara. So when demigods and demons attempt to chant the milk using mountain Mandara, the mountain began to sing because it lacked the stable base. Lord Vishnu assumed the form of gigantic tortoise to serve as the supporting poet. So Srila Prabhupada explained that the Lord is so powerful and vast that mountain scratching his back feels like a simple relief for an itch. So the Vedas, the Vedic process is to follow in the footsteps of great authorities, and that is the only process for knowing that which is beyond our imagination. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhyam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 11786. So that even great efforts is made that like demigods and demons, success is only possible to sanction and support of the Supreme Lord. Eyapi anya devata bhakta ijanti shattayana. So the next incarnation, Lord Narasimhadev, half man and half lion avatar, the victory over the demon Hiranyakaspu. So the Lord appeared specially to elevate the fear of the demigods and to protect Prahlad Maharaj, the devotee son of the Hiranyakashipu. So that no matter how sophisticated a godless person plans are, they ultimately frustrated by the Supreme Lord's power. So namam dushkutano modaha prapadyante naradama. Maya bharata gnana asurim bhavam. Ashrita. So the next incarnation is the deliverer of Gajendra. So that is the potency of the holy name and unfailing protection of a surrendered devotee. Ishavashyamidam sarvam. So Ishopanishad. So the Lord is addressed as Namadeya, meaning his holy name is always worth chanting. Chanting or hearing the Lord's name is as purifying as the visiting place of pilgrimage, Tirtha Sarvaha, and can be done anywhere, including at home. Namachintamani Krishna భిన్న అభిన్నత్వం నామనామిను చైతన్య చరితములు. So in this verse also Prameya is described. So the Lord's power cannot be estimated by human imagination, mathematical calculation. So despite being his distinct spiritual abode, Vaikuntha, he can hear the prayers of distressed soul and appear instantly. So Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, his devotee never perishes. So upon hearing Gajendra's request, he at once appeared on the wings of Garuda to deliver him. The next incarnation is Vamandev, the dwarf Vyamana avatar of the Lord Vishnu, and his incarnation with King Bali Maharaj. So although the Lord appeared as a beggar to took away Bali Maharaj entire kingdom with just 3 steps, Bali Maharaj gained the Lord himself as his constant companion and doorman. Yashaham Anugrahami. So Bali Maharaj demonstrated that superior intelligence by deserving his spiritual master Sukracharya, who tried to stop the charity. Once he realized that beggar was Vishnu, Bali understand that surrendering God is the highest duty. So his main is Atmanivedanam. So Bali Maharaj exemplifies surrendering everything, including his body, to Lord. By giving up his material kingdom, he gains the Lord's eternal pretense and his companion. So then the Lord appearance next as Hamsa incarnation. The incarnation of Hamsa, who taught the science of God to Narada Muni, the science is clearly explained to only surrender souls. Yoginam observation. So next incarnation is Manvantara incarnation of the Supreme Lord, who appears as Manu to rule and maintain the universe during different time periods. Here Prabhupada explains that there are 14 Manus within a single day of Brahma, resulting in a total of 504,000 Manus for Brahma's life of 100 years. And next incarnation is Dhanvantari for the ensuring that the health of both body and the soul. The ultimate medicine of the Lord is Bhavaushadhi, is his holy name, which cures the perpetual disease of birth and death. Ananyas Chantayantoma Yajana Pariyupasate Tesham Nitya Abhyuktanam Yogashyaam Aham. So the Lord next in Parshurama established the principle that ruling class Kshatriya must be lead society according to the absolute truth. So when a government becomes godless or plans of godless civilization, so it becomes prone the inherent stress, entanglement, and suffering to the earth and is liable to be sustained by Lord. The next incarnation is Lord Ramchandra. That he tries to enjoy the Lord's energy without acknowledging the Lord's supremacy is the symbol of materialistic mentality, termed Ravana, policy of Ravana. So it once again is the policy of Ravana, the exploiting the Lord's property without acknowledging his supremacy. So a battle where the demon Ravana, King Ravana, despite his immense force and pride in defeating celestial being, is suddenly silenced by the sound of Lord Ramachandra's bow. So that Mare Krishna Rake Krishna Mareke. So next, the advent of Lord Krishna and his immediate expansion Balarama. So both Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are one Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prakash with. So the Lord is Amala Anupalkash Anupalkashya Margaha, that he cannot be realized through limited sense or mental speculation. So Naham Prakash Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavruta. So the purpose of the Lord descents and extraordinary activities, pastimes is not simply to kill the demons, which could be without the personality, but to create the subject matters of his pure devotees to hear the discussion and chant about. Uh, and this chanting and glorification is the essence of devotional service. Krishna Prema Janmai Yei Prachare Alpasanga. So the Lord fulfills the desire of his pure devotees. For instance, he played a role to helpless child for Mother Yashoda, while simultaneously act as the Almighty Lord to deliver the sons of Kuvera over a time, overturning a heavy cart at the 3 months old and uprooting gained Arjuna trees while carving. So Krishna's child, Brahmaji also explained in the childhood pastimes that the Lord, Supreme Lord, saved the residents of Vraja simply through Anugraha Drishti, merciful glance, Lord Supreme Power, life and death, and he is subduing Kaliya to purify waters of the Yamuna, Tat Chuddhaye, and also he saved the inhabitants of Vraja were in the danger from the Manjatavi forest fire. So the law that one should accept this truth based on the authority of the Vedas rather than wasting time in mundane philosophical speculation. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So next, so Brahmaji explained about the Supreme Lord Yogamaya. Unlike Mahamaya, the external energy keeps the soul in material ignorance. So Yogamaya acts to perfect all acts to perfect all the pastimes of the Lord. It allows the devotees to experience intimate relationship with the God. So in Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda tried to try Krishna with the ropes as a punishment. Despite his small size, the ropes were always 2 fingers short. So when she eventually saw the entire universe within his open mouth, she was astonished due to Yogamaya conclude that Lord Narayana was simply protecting her son as rather than realizing the child was Narayana. Um, and also specific transcendental pastimes of Lord Krishna also describe. Brahmaji discussed with Narada Muni that is divinity and protection of inhabitants of Vrindavana. So Lord Krishna's protection of Vrindavana from the wrath of King Indra during the lifting of Govardhana hill. This demonstrates that the worship of the Supreme Lord directly in the Supreme Lord directly do not no need to satisfy demigods like Indra, Brahma, or Shiva through separate sacrifice. The extensive devotion, Ananya Bhakti to Supreme Lord fulfill all obligation to lesser administrative class demigods. So, so the next, the specific pastimes of Lord Krishna in the forest of Vrindavana, so that he protects the gopis from the demon Shankasuda. So when gopis called out for protection, the Lord immediately intervened to chastise the demon. This illustrates that Lord is the ultimate protector of those who take shelter in him. Sarvadharmani parityaja mamekam sharanam bhaja. So Brahmaji also discussed about the transcendental benefit of contact with the Supreme Lord, specifically focusing how even those who interact with him in an enemical mood, such as demons and rebellious souls, attaining the supreme liberation. So the specific destination of the souls depend on their mental state of the at the time of death. Yam yam vap saram baba. So Vaikunta, those who recognize the Lord supreme nature enter the eternal spiritual planet. So Brahma, those who view the Lord merely as a powerful being, as an extraordinary man, merges into impersonal spiritual effulgence. So that if inimical association brings liberation, devotion service, bhakti yoga to the Lord offers so far superior spiritual destination. So the incarnation of Lord as Vasdev, the son of Satyavati. So to help humanity, the Lord appeared as Vasdev to divide the desert tree of Vedas. So Veda Drumam into various branches and subdues and sub-branches, making the easier to understand. So real advancement of knowledge means progression of uh, knowledge in self-realization. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna. So the Lord next the Lord appeared as Buddha as scheduled incarnation of the Supreme Lord, specifically intended to guide the materialist people towards non-violence. Uh, Humanity, pride, non-violence, tolerance, sense control, detachment, all these principles is to accept the Supreme Lord because His devote. Uh, all these are teachings from Buddha incarnation. So the final stage of these principles to accept the Supreme Lord and become His devotees. Otherwise the path is incomplete. The appearance of Kalki Avatar at the end of Kali Yuga to act as a supreme chastiser of degraded society. When society degrades into animal principles, focusing only eating, sleeping, and mating, the Lord appeared as the supreme chastiser to inherit the Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Chaturshram. So the next, the Supreme Lord manifest through three phases. So Brahmaji explained about three phases of material existence: creation, maintenance, and destruction. So creation led by Brahmaji and the creation led by Brahma and the Prajapatis, maintenance governed by Vishnu, supporting their religion, righteous rulers, destruction overseas by Shiva, accompanied by irreligion and atheism. All these figures, despite their role in different modes of nature, are Maya Vibhuteya, expansions of the Supreme Lord energy. So, the Lord Brahma also described the inconceivable power of Lord Vishnu to Narada Muni, that the Lord has Vamana Trivikram, who effortlessly extended his legs to edge of the universe. Satiloka penetrated the material coverings to allow the sacred gangaris to enter into the material world. And the Lord's unlimited and inconceivable nature of the law, Supreme Personality of Godhead potencies. So Srila Prabhupada explains that the three primary energies, internal, external, marginal, which have unlimited expansion, so that can never be calculated by anyone, including the Lord's word incarnation as Shesha, Dasasata, one who has 10,000, 10,100 faces. So thus specifically favored souls who surrender completely to the service of the Lord, Sarvatmanasrita Pada, can cross the insurmountable ocean of illusion and can understand the Lord. Devi sa gunamaya mamamaya durabdhyaya. So the Lord and his potencies only understood through surrender, not through any mental speculation. So he revealed himself to the surrender souls proportionately to the depth of their surrender. So Bhagavad Gita 4:11 and 110. And also the only qualification for spiritual realization is surrender. So which is accessible to only which is accessible to every living entity regardless of material background. So even the sinful activities are Shriya Vaistada Sutras Tepayanti Param Gatim. So a sinful soul may be not able to reach Lord, but can easily approach a pure devotee of the Lord. And also Paramatma Tattva also described. So the Lord is the principal primeval cause and of everything, both manifest and unmanifest. Janmadhyasya. So he is also free from disturbances, Saswat Prasantaha, without fear, Abhayam, and possesses complete consciousness. that is entirely distinct from matter. And also the Lord engages in the transcendental loving. One who engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord is the real perfection of life and the supreme method of spiritual culture. So the pure transcendental devotion service to the Lord is the ultimate goal of life. Bhaktya mam abhijanati, rendering all other process of self-reliance such as speculative knowledge or artificial yoga unnecessarily. And in the 50th, 1450 verse, it is Brahmaji explained that the ultimate benefactor and the immortality of the soul. So the Lord directs the spiritual progress of the living entity based on the devotional service. Yayadamam prapadyante. So Swarupya having the uh, same body features of the Lord, Salokya, same spiritual planets as the Lord. Srashti possessing opulence equal to the Lord. Samipya having direct constant association with the Lord. So the Lord provides authoritative scriptures and representatives and personal incarnation, helping the conditioned soul return to their original spiritual home. Nagama kalpatarur galitam phalam sukam gadamruta. So finally, in Brahmaji instruct Narada Muni to describe the signs of Godhead uh, with determination and in clear manner. The purpose of this description is to help human beings develop to develop the transcendental devotional service to bhakti unto the Lord, Supreme Lord Hari, who is super soul of every living being and the source of all energies. Sanvaka sa kada Krishna. So one should, so Brahmaji instruct to Narada Muni that one should describe, appreciate, and hear about the Lord's activity and his energies in according with the teachings of the Supreme Lord. So if one follows these instructions regularly with devotion and respect, one is guaranteed to become free from Lord's illusionary energy. Key points of this chapter. So it details the various incarnations of the Supreme Lord throughout history to fulfill the specific purpose, emphasizing devotional service and provide subject matter for hearing and chanting. Lord Brahma details several major incarnations, including Kumaras, Varaha, and Matsyavatara, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So unlike ordinary birth, the Lord appearance activities superhuman and spiritual. Understanding this, Janma Karma Samedivya, transcendental nature leads to liberation, birth, and cycle. So, so in this, the elephant Gajendra, it illustrates that Lord is the original enjoyer and will instantly protect a surrendered devotee, even one in an animal body, if they remember him sincerely. Human life is meant for tapasya, particularly the control of the senses and the mind, and detach from material enjoyment and focus on the Supreme Lord. In the current age of Kali, the most effective means of spiritual realization and protection from material miseries is the chanting of the holy name Krishna. So the living entity is an eternal fragment of the Lord. Real happiness is found by reviving the relationship through the devotional service rather than through independent material endeavor. So at the end of this chapter, Brahmaji instructs Narada to explain further and disseminate this knowledge so that the others can understand the path of devotional service Bhakti Yoga. So Narada Muni initial questions are what prompted Brahmaji to speak the core principle of Srimad Bhagavatam, which Narada later instructed to Vasudev to compile Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very, very inspiring. You have captured everything. You spent a lot of time. How much it took, how many days it took for you to present this chapter, to prepare?
Probably 2 days. After that, I tried to give the presentation, but it was postponed. So
You kept revising and,
yes,
reviewing it and expanding it. Very good. But it is all worth. This wait is all worth what you have presented. Dayāśīl, you assess. You make an assessment of the presentation. And some philosophical points where you feel was not emphasized, where you felt that It was more content. If you have followed it properly, then you will be able to do that. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, as you said, Prabhuji, the presentation was covering all the points and all the scheduled incarnations. And in each incarnation, what was the role, Prabhuji? He mentioned, Prabhu mentioned that. Like one of the instance, the presentation I got inspired. Pradeep Prabhu told Lord in the incarnation of Lord Ramchandra, where he emphasized that when we are enjoying the energy of the Supreme Lord without acknowledging him, we are like the Ravana policy. So this was very inspiring. Like we are on that category only. Always very enjoying the Supreme Lord's energy, but we don't acknowledge him and we don't serve him. And also probably regarding the Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, also Prabhuji told. Yoga Maya is for completing the pastime of the Supreme Lord and helping the pastime, and Mahamaya is to keep the living entity in ignorance. So, there were many, and in each incarnation, he very rightly told. There was he mentioned about the Manvantara avatar, where he ruled the world following the all righteousness, and in this way, Prabhuji was very good. In between, I had to go for some work, but it was fine. Really, actually, so much point, and each incarnation he highlighted the what was the real purpose, and he also linked with our devotional practice. What Srila Prabhupada told in that particular incarnation. So, yes, Prabhuji.
Any questions, corrections?
No, Prabhuji. If actually slides, if he can put little less matter, that will be very good. Less matter, it will be very good, Prabhuji. You can.
And some picture.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Some picture
Very good,
representation.
Really, actually, he completed within time, as you told him 40 minutes. So he completed within the time only, Prabhuji. It was very nice, and he covered everything. Thank you, Pradeep Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Any question or any correction? Please feel free to speak.
Actually, one question, Prabhuji, that the background, little bit background, he told actually, he told about the question of Naradji to Brahmaji. It was actually reply of Brahmaji only. So, little bit, not in elaborate, but the some connection, if we can explain little bit. Previous chapter, previous chapter. Why this thing came? Why this explanation came? Actually, he explained that.
Then where were you?
Yes.
He explained right from chapter 4.
Fifth chapter.
Then how you were asking, he put that 10 question. You remember the 10 question?
Yeah, he showed that slide also.
Then where is the scope of asking? Okay, anyone has any question, or I should ask question? Pradeep Prabhu, this chapter says the scheduled incarnations. Okay. And as you said, how many incarnations were scheduled? How many you listed? 25.
Yes, Prabhu.
So all these incarnations, from which Vishnu is doing a manifest? What is the source of all these incarnations?
Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
No, not Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes Lord Brahma. Do these incarnations come? From where these incarnations come? Who will answer? So many times we have studied it. Ravinder?
क्षीरोदकोदय विष्णु प्रभु
हाँ?
क्षीरोदकोदय विष्णु
बड़ा स्लो बोल रहे हो, बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है. एक्सप्लेन करो हाउ फ्रॉम क्षीरोदक्षाय विष्णु.
all the demigods and Shiva all come from this Kshirodakaya Vishnu. And
The demigods coming from क्षीरोदक्षाय विष्णु. Your philosophy is still not clear. Priyanka, you explain.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, incarnation means Supreme Lord descend himself in the material creations.
Yes.
So after the subcreation, Lord Brahmaji done, after the subcreation, all the incarnation are manifest in the cosmic manifestation. So the
And from where he comes?
Kshirodakaya Vishnu.
Yeah. Well, what is क्षीरोदक्षाय Vishnu? What is his feature or function? What is the feature of क्षीरोदक्षाय Vishnu? You know it. It is very simple. Speak again. Voice is cracking.
Kshirodakaya Vishnu as super soul, he resides in the
Yes.
heart
He is
of
the one who is disseminated in the entire creation as super soul. And from him comes all the incarnations. Correct, Pradeep? This should be clear understanding.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
many years we are discussing. Then my point is, how is Krishna as a scheduled incarnation who is coming from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu? Is Krishna and Balaram coming from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu? They are not avatar. Krishna is not avatar. He is avatari. Then why he is mentioned here in the scheduled incarnation? He does not manifest from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Why his name is mentioned here?
Because to explain the Lord's supremacy.
Where is the supremacy here? There is supremacy or subordination? Are you clear on the question or not? Is everyone clear with the question? What I'm asking? Purushottam? Question is clear?
Yes, Prabhu, question clear.
We should have asked this question. No one asked. So how an avatari who is the source of all incarnation be a part of incarnations? What is the answer? Okay, it is getting late, you find out. Tomorrow we will discuss. Not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay? Why Krishna is shown here as one of the scheduled incarnations? Okay, but nonetheless, lot of hard work, lot of effort, which is commendable. Thank you. Thank you for putting all this effort and time. Purushottam, your presentation is on Monday?
No, Prabhu, on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Whose is Monday? 2.8. What is your chapter?
9, 2.9.
2.8. Priyanka.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare.
So you will present when? Monday?
No, Prabhuji, I took some time. Tuesday, Prabhuji.
Okay. No later than Tuesday. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nithai Gaur Premanand. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.